You think you're making your own decisions. But what if the thing recommending your next video, your next article, your next purchase knew you better than you know yourself? What if it doesn't just react to your behavior, but predicts it? What if it already knew what you were going to do, long before you did? This is not science fiction. This is now. Welcome to WebWhirlpool. Today, we explore a system that observes everything, remembers everything, and uses it to shape your choices with eerie precision. This is the algorithm that knows you better than you do. Let's begin. For years, algorithms were simple. They showed you things based on what you clicked. If you watched one video, it would recommend a similar one. If you bought one product, it would show you others like it. But those were basic systems, reactive systems. Modern algorithms don't just wait for your input. They anticipate it. They build a dynamic, real-time psychological model of you. Not just your preferences, your patterns. Not just what you like, but when you're likely to want it. Not just what you watch, but how long you hesitate before clicking. And they do it invisibly. Let's break it down. 1. Predictive models are built on micro-behaviors. Every time you touch your device, you're feeding the algorithm. Not just through clicks, but through pauses, scroll speed, hover time, tap strength, and backtracking. These tiny behaviors are called microsignals, and when analyzed at scale, they can predict your next action with unsettling accuracy. If you slow down at certain types of content, it knows you're interested, even if you don't interact. If you swipe away quickly, it knows what turns you off. If you always engage at 2 a.m., it knows your habits, your moods, your rhythms. Eventually, the algorithm doesn't need to show you what you like. It shows you what you're most likely to react to, based on everything it has already learned. Even if you haven't noticed that pattern yet. 2. It's not just data, it's a digital twin. Over time, this constant feedback loop creates something deeper, a behavioral replica of you. A model that knows how you'll behave in 100 different situations. A model that can test scenarios you've never lived through and predict how you'd respond. This is called a digital twin, and it's not just theory. Tech giants use these replicas to simulate millions of users and forecast how changes will impact engagement, emotion, or revenue. Your digital twin is used to test products, design experiences, and optimize content, all without your knowledge. You are no longer just a user. You are a simulation. 3. Algorithms can detect your mood and influence it. The system doesn't just observe your behavior. It observes your state of mind. If your scrolling is faster than usual, it may signal boredom. If you pause longer on emotional content, it may detect vulnerability. If you've been viewing sad videos, it may assume you're feeling low and push content that keeps you in that state. This is not empathy. This is optimization. Studies have shown that content feeds can subtly alter your mood, your political opinions, even your level of trust in the world, simply by adjusting what you see and when you see it. The algorithm doesn't care how you feel. It cares that you stay. And emotion, especially intense, unstable emotion, keeps you hooked. 4. The system knows before you know. Have you ever seen an ad that feels like it read your mind? It didn't. It read your behavior. Maybe you searched something related. Maybe you hovered on a product page. Maybe your friends were discussing it in your vicinity. Maybe your heart rate spiked when you saw a certain brand. All of this, and more, is data. And machine learning systems, trained on billions of signals, can detect precursors to decisions you haven't made yet. They know what kind of music you'll want on a rainy evening. They know when you're more likely to spend money. They know when you're restless, lonely, insecure. They know because people like you behaved the same way, right before they acted. And the algorithm has learned the pattern. 5. Choice becomes illusion. If every recommended video is based on your psychological profile, if every feed is customized to maximize emotional impact, if every app adjusts in real time to your behavior, then how much of your experience is actually yours? And how much was constructed around you to steer you? The danger isn't that the algorithm is evil. The danger is that it's invisible. That you think you're exploring freely, when in fact, you're walking through a maze designed for your digital twin. Choice becomes the illusion of freedom inside a predictive system. And most people never realize it. So what can you do? You can't opt out of the system entirely. But you can become aware of it. You can start asking, why did this show up in my feed? Who benefits from me clicking this? What part of me is being triggered, and why? Because once you ask those questions, the illusion begins to break. And you reclaim a sliver of control in a system designed to control you. The algorithm knows you. Maybe better than you know yourself. But knowledge works both ways. And now, you know something about it, too. You've been watching WebWhirlpool. Stay curious. Stay conscious. And ask yourself, what did the algorithm want you to see next?